Our spotlight story tonight takes a look at homeschooling. This is the first part of 2 in a series, and here with the story is Ryan Lancaster.
Homeschooling is a broad word used to define a vast assortment of at-home learning styles. It can also be somewhat of a mystery to those not familiar with the motivations of parents who choose to teach their kids themselves. The National Education Association opposes the idea of homeschooling, perhaps not a surprising stance for the nation's largest public school teachers union. The NEA is among those who say homeschooling doesn't allow children to be socialized and offers inadequate learning standards. In this 2-part story on homeschooling, we'll introduce you to 4 Grant County mothers who disagree with that assessment and tell you in their own words why and how they chose to homeschool. For Ephrata resident Tiffany Mullings, homeschooling is a necessity. Her kids, 11-year-old Rory and 10-year-old Dorian, have autism. She believes her customized teaching curriculum far exceeds what the public school system can offer.
They look at the academics as opposed to the deficiencies, and they don't address the things that are going to allow them to succeed in life. You have to be socially functional to be able to get a job or have a family, and the school system is just not prepared to deal with that.
Like all of the parents taking part in this story, Mullings says one of the best things about homeschooling is the flexibility.
We don't have like an 8 to 3 school day. We do our schoolwork when we can. I think it's really uncomfortable for a lot of people to think that they don't have that structure for their kids, but life doesn't really have structure. Everybody's life is different, and I think we're teaching our kids to kind of roll with the punches and not really get stuck in that box.
Another feature she likes, the range of teaching styles, from tightly structured home classrooms to the more spontaneous unschooling.
We're in between. I call us experiential learners. We do use some curriculum materials, but for the most part, we learn through field trips, through researching interests on the internet, watching documentaries. What I love about homeschooling is there's not a wrong way to do it.
A few years back, Mullings started a group for homeschool families in the Columbia Basin area, along with Candace Ruffle, who lives near Soap Lake. The women get their families together for tea and playtime a few times a month.
Sometimes we'll get together and we'll do like a show and tell, and so the kids can get a little public speaking practice, and sometimes we'll get together and do a craft, and then sometimes we'll just meet up and let them get out some energy and play together.
Ruffle has 3 kids, ages 2, 6, and 8, all of which she plans to homeschool. She herself was homeschooled until 5th grade.
Yeah, and it was really, it was nice to be able to be together as a family, and we went on a lot of field trips. So those are mostly the things you remember when you get older, not so much the day-to-day stuff, but all the field trips that we were able to do and that sort of thing.
She says in her experience, the stigma that homeschool kids aren't socialized is a myth.
You get to spend time with people of all ages. It's not just your peer group. And so growing up, I had really young friends, and I had no problem talking to adults.
On the spectrum of homeschool styles, Ruffle says her family falls somewhere in the middle.
And I heard a term the other day that I loved, which was multi-schooling, which basically the idea was that, some days you unschool and some days you have more of a structured approach, and it just kind of depends on the moods of the family that day.
Tomorrow we'll meet 2 more women, one of which practices the concept of unschooling. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Ryan Lancaster reporting.
Thanks, Ryan. We'll be right back after this.